given that, and their process is to respond to that, and then they will then proceed with their internal process as to their final execution of the lease. They're not in any timeframes at this point. They did just say be mindful that obviously most councils do tend to break up for the summer.
So the earliest response would be September?
Possibly, unless they respond to everyone that's sent notification in before then.
Sure. Okay, that's so that's just to receive an update on that, so receive that. Item 51 then, to receive an update on the condition set as part of the new activity risk assessment approved in principle by Council at its meeting on 11th May 2026, agenda item 17, and consider any further action required on that condition. So we've got the correspondence back from Ackworth Community Association on the constitution questions. Okay. Any comments or questions on the? Can you get Andy?
On the 2013 Ackworth Community Association Constitution states that the parish council should nominate parish councillors as trustees, but there is no record in any minutes or agendas that any nomination context to them before May 2019 was made at all. It wasn't even representative until then. In May 2019, one councillor, Tony Helms, was appointed as the sole representative. So that clearly didn't cover the 2 to 4 trustees that the Constitution states there should be. And the minutes of that May 2019 meeting didn't make any mention of the trustee role. It wasn't actually until June 2022 that 2 representatives for Ackworth Community Association were appointed by the Parish Council, and those 2 were Councillor Bell and Councillor Cook. And I've not found any record that Councillor Cook has been a trustee of Ackworth Community Association, although Councillor Bell was a trustee, appointed separately from any recorded action by the Parish Council. That was in November 2021. And there is no record of any agenda or minutes that refers to the requirement of the Ackworth Community Association Constitution for trustees to be appointed. And despite that constitution that had been signed in 2013 by a councillor who remains a councillor to this day. So once again, I question why the requirement of that constitution was never raised during 13 years. But, and also, in relation to a particular point, far from accepting it's down to Ackworth Community Association to refute any suggestion it's not in compliance with the constitution it didn't submit to the Charity Commission for 13 years. I think to ensure we're not taking any risks in this, confirmation should either be sought by the Charity Commission before accepting the risk assessment, or we need to formally nominate between 2 and 4 councillors, the trustees of Ackworth Community Association, to make sure that we and Ackworth Community Association are complying with their constitution and their own requirements in relation to it.
Thank you. I'll just make the note as well. I think that all community, whatever we have outside bodies, we need to look at all of them to make sure that representatives are trustees as well. So this would extend further afield, which hasn't been noted either so far. Sarah, yeah?
Yeah, I'm more interested in looking forward actually than looking back, and I'm more interested in positive action than throwing up obstacles. And I do wonder, having listened to people around this table raising issue after issue after issue in a very negative and unhelpful way, what their motivation is, whether they actually want a community centre to go ahead. I very much get the feeling from people in this room, well, and Mr. Gaines has more or less said it, that the feeling that people in this room think, that some people in this room think that Ackworth Community Association is not a fit body to be pursuing this project. And if that's the case, I wish they'd just say so, I wish they'd just put it on the proposal. You know, we believe that Ackworth Community Association is not fit and proper organisation, and and then we can vote on it and we can say where our confidence lies. So with regard to looking forward, looking back, I can't see what we gain by looking back through, 30 years of past minutes. And what to me seems to matter, and it's a question that, and I'm sorry I should have given Helen and Sharon and John who are in this room, I'm sorry, you must get a notice of this because it should occur to me. What is important to me is whether the returns from the Ackworth Community Association to the Charity Commission have been, accepted and approved, and that is what matters to me. So this issue has also been going back and forwards between people in this room and our clerk in emails, back and forwards, with the same answers being given over, the same questions being asked over and over again, same points being raised over and over again, same answers being given over and over again, which are basically that, either it's not valid or it's been dealt with. And that, of course, has taken up hours and hours of staff time which could have been used, ought to have been used, in doing positive things for the parish council moving things forward. So I think yet again, this is yet another attempt by some people in this room just to keep trying to throw spanners in the works. Because I really believe, one, they don't want the Ackworth Community Association to have the project. Secondly, I'm not really sure they want it to be built.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'll bring Storm in next.
Regarding the 2013 constitution, can I answer my own submitted
Just one second. So, in terms of, this letter, basically, questions were sent to the Ackworth Community Association. They come back with the response and they've answered those things. There are also other things that need looking into. I'm all for looking back and looking at mistakes and correcting them and again getting them sorted. In terms of just saying it's a mistake and just focusing on the fact it's a mistake, so therefore that stands for forever and eternity. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in getting things corrected, getting everything in place and moving forward. And this stalling I'm not going to have. And equally we've had stalling from, this isn't a dig at the new administration that's in place because they're only recently in place, but we've had stalling from the council on this, from the fact that their officers haven't pushed on this, and I remember as a district council certainly pushing on this as well. And there's been a lot of action by the office to push this forward, and we are, so close to securing the lease. And again, there's different stalling techniques. I'm not prepared to have it. I don't know how, they were running this community centre. They've done it for 40 years and now we're suddenly saying that there's all these risks and everything. I just find it a bizarre sort of attack on an organisation. I don't agree with it. My position has always been clear. I'm fully in support of it, and so therefore I think that in terms of this agenda item, I think that we need to accept what they're saying in the letter and we accept, we give them that support. So that's what I'm saying on that. I'll bring Andy back in.
Well, I think it's quite wrong. I've been, yes, history has the matter. I pointed out that for 6 years there was absolutely no way we met that constitution, yet now we're told we do. And I have made a proposal there, basically, that either we get confirmation from the Charities Commission that they are happy with it, or we do a vote to ensure we're compliant with it. There is a method of moving forward. That's positivity. People can believe what the heck they want about what I believe. I don't care. Because but to suggest that it's not positive, to make suggestions to ensure we're compliant, Lower Ackworth Community Association compliant, if we're looking at a 40-year lease, we've got to make sure it's secure. If we bypass something, we don't follow rules, who knows what can happen in the council in the next 40 years? Somebody could turn around and say, that wasn't done right, it's all invalid, and we can have spent money on building and it can be just totally taken away. So if somebody's happy to do that, on their head be it. I'm not. I think procedure matters. Hence my proposal.
I fully agree that procedure matters, and that's what I made in my statement. we've looked at the mistakes, we've got the mistakes corrected. There's other things that we need to get corrected with other institutions which we deal with as part of this parish council. What I do think we need to look at, so consideration for further action. No further action required, that's one option. 2, official appointment of the members elected to Ackworth Community Association outside body, 11th May 2026, to be formally appointed by Ackworth Parish Council as the Ackworth Community Association trustees in line with Ackworth Community Association Constitution 5.1 and 5.3, or option 3, new appointment of members by Ackworth Parish Council as the Ackworth Community Association trustees in line with Ackworth Community Association Constitution 5.1 and 5.3. So, to me, that's how we move forward with this.
Well, no, those are considerations. I've given another consideration, which is that we get charity commission approval of what is currently happening in October. So there's
Chair, can I just say that really helpfully, people didn't interrupt the chair when the chair speaking. I found it very helpful.
Which are happy. I'm just going to do it.
So, Sarah.
Are we on to item 51 now then? Because 50 is just to receive an update. Oh no, sorry, no, I got that behind.
Item 51 is what we're on, and it's to consider the action.
Right, okay, sorry, yeah.
Chair, I'd just be able to add some information. As council are aware, as part of the original plan, we met with representatives of the association speak back at the 10th. They did confirm that the Charity Commission haven't reported any wrongdoings, they've not received any penalties, they've not been requested formally in terms of remedial action. They were requested to upload the 2013 Constitution, which was missing from the Charity Commissioner's website, to be uploaded, which has now been done. If that's what's being referred to now, in line with the actual 5.1 and 5.3, that's what we're dealing with now, and this was about the risk assessment for future sublease. So I think we're just merging a few things here, so I don't know if that's helpful, Chair, but I thought it was worth saying.
Thank you. So I'm going to move then that we move with option 2. So I'm going to propose official appointment of the members elected to Ackworth Community Association outside body on 11th of May 2026 to be formally appointed as Ackworth Parish Council trustees in line with the Ackworth Community Association Constitution 5.1 and 5.3. So that's my proposal for that. Sarah seconding. I'll move to a vote. Votes in favour?
I have an alternative proposal.
What's the alternative proposal?
Well, an alternative proposal being item version 3 of that new appointment of members by Ackworth Parish Council as Ackworth Community Association trustees in line with Ackworth Community Association Constitution 5.1 and 5.3, so that we're absolutely clear up front that that's what we were voting for.
So that's the alternative proposal. Does that have a second there? Second there. Okay, I'll take a vote on the alternative first. Put forward by Andy and Sean. Votes in favour of option 3. And votes, so that's 4. Thank you. Votes against? That's 5 against. Now I'll take Sarah's proposal, my proposal, obviously, my proposal, which was option 2. So votes in favour of that, so that's the current representatives to become the trustees. That's 5 in favour. And votes against? 4 against. Thank you. So option 2 is passed. Item 52, to receive further information from Ackworth Community Association, including a centre recovery plan and bank statements as requested as part of the letter of intent approved in principle by Council at its meeting on 8th June 2026. Agenda item 24.3, and consider any further action required.
Chair, do you mind if I read the statements?
Gemma is going to give us.
So as I just mentioned, from the previous meeting, I had an instruction to meet with representatives of the Ackworth Community Association to feedback the resolution from the last council meeting, which was solely about the letter of intent, and it was part of the discussion that we had on the day. That's been done, and we have now received an edited version of the letter of intent in line with the concerns that was raised at the last meeting. But not only that, they have also included the redevelopment delivery plan that was circulated to councillors on Wednesday, and it has been supported on the bank statements. So that's what's there. So I put it as a revisit to the reading transfer of letter of intent from June's meeting.
Excellent, thank you very much. Any comments on that, please? Fair enough. Sarah.
We know we received the letter.
Is that the proposal that we know the information is received? Yeah. Seconder for that? John, secondary? Andy?
Well, this redevelopment delivery plan requests us to release sill funding for demolition. And our co-councillor made it clear from the March meeting, we have a plan in place for the removal of the building, including approved costings, and have selected an experienced demolition contractor. This work will proceed once the sublease has been approved. All costs associated with this will be funded by the committee from its own funds, not from sill funding. So if that requirement has changed, I do have to question which other element of the response that we have from Councillor Mayland in March may also have changed. And a decision was made on that motion based on comments from Councillor Mayland, so maybe that whole decision was invalid on that basis if things have changed. So a question is, why is funding for demolition now being requested from SIL rather than being funded by the Ackworth as previously stated? But a couple of other points in relation to this. The costs projected for the new building, the total is 66,210. Accepting that that doesn't cover internal fit out, it's about 1/10 of the quotations we received for new building in 2023. But we've got no indication of the size of the proposed building. But more concerningly, other than for demolition, there don't appear to be any quotations to support the figures given. The wording actually suggests that those are going to be obtained later. So I think before we approve the expenditure, it's important we see verifiable evidence that the figures quoted will be realistic. We have no indication of what size the building will be, what it will look like. There's very limited information about what facilities it will include. And really, without seeing those details, I don't think it's appropriate to accept a letter of intent and the redevelopment delivery plan. Those things need to be clarified. And I'll just add as well, I previously requested a copy of a business plan to support the building. The redevelopment delivery plan is not a business plan. It doesn't cover many of the expected elements of the business plan. And in particular, it states that a detailed operating budget for the building won't be prepared until phase 6, completion and handover. An operating budget is an essential part of a business plan, and it has to be completed to demonstrate the viability of the project prior to approving the plan or entering into any expenditure. Yet we're expected to approve this, and then we'll figure out if we can actually run the thing and make any money out of it later. I just don't get it.
So, just a quick response in terms of, so we've had an email response today to all councillors, which has given quite a good explanation as to why this is not a resolution. Now, the intention may have been there in terms of not using the sill funding and putting that to the building, but as Councillor Richmond has pointed out on many occasions, this is a massive safety risk. This is, it's going to fall apart, fall on children and all the rest of it. We've heard the doom and gloom report. So I don't see why it's not a resolution that's been passed in terms of not using the sill funding for the demolition. And in certainly my opinion, others may agree or disagree, whether the sill fund is used on the demolition or to put a new building in place, I don't see it's going towards the building. It's going towards putting that in place. The old building needs to be removed in order for the new one to be put in place. So you just talk about different bits of money as to whether, what you're using on. And Lower Ackworth Community Association will be using their funds to fund this building as well. So we're just talking about different pots of money doing the same thing. Like, I don't see the importance. I'm not particularly interested in what pot of money does what. I'm more interested in it's all going on the same project, whether it's the demolition of the building, which needs to happen, whether it's the new building that needs to happen. I don't see what the difference is there. And as this is a massive safety concern that the council should be sorting out immediately, as we've heard the doom and gloom report from Councillor Richmond on many occasions, even though it's been called off and it has been deemed safe, I think we need to be moving on this quite quickly, and this is the quickest way to do this. Because I will be surprised if we go against this road, having raised it as a safety concern, just to quote your words back at you as well. So on that, I am going to move to a vote on that, and that is...
Point of order, Chair.
Very good. Go ahead. We've got a point of order, so we'll just... I think Gemma will need a copy of it printed.
I need that first. I'm holding the official sole application guide issued directly by our own council clerk for funds of £5,000 and over. Page 8, section 7, points to two explicit mandates as all landlord and planning permission must be obtained prior to application.
Can I just check which agenda item this refers to, because
This is just a letter of intent, you've said funding agreement.
this we're on item
That's a
52.
different agenda item. Is this in relation to the letter of intent, which is an agreed in principle? It is. Okay.
Okay.
So before we continue, Jane,
Point of order.
We'll just take the point of order first, if that's okay. Carry on, Steve.
I'm holding the official seal application guidelines issued directly by our own council clerk for funds £5,000 and over. Page 8, section 7.